Prontera. How was it done? An original speedrun series. Prontera. Oh, Prontera. As far as I'm concerned, there's no information online on how Prontera was made or who made it. However, thanks to Borflicious, we can now check how that was done. So I'm going to open BrowEdit and together we will see how Prontera was made. Here we go, everybody. I'm going to open our lovely Prontera, and that's a P Prontera, which is a perfect copy of the original. And now we're going to check it out how this was done. I like to start by edit object mode, and let's start to clear out a little bit of this. Look how cool Borf has made the function where if you click and you select same, you can see how many of the exact same object there is. It's really good to know that you can also check Prontera map here, map preview. So here's the 3D of the entire map. Also, there are things that you can check in GRF editor, which you cannot check in BrowEdit, which is if you pick, for example, this church, and then you go to under church, you can see every texture that is responsible to color this church. I can increase the pivot point and increase it up, so all of these are the same actually 3D model. So we can now check before and after. You see, so they were there. You can see below the 3D there is a square, so this means when they calculate light map, actually the light map does not affect the inside, but when you use BrowEdit to calculate it, it does. Alright, and now let's check it out. This, whatever this is, which I actually never realized there are things like this in the map, but apparently. So right click, select same, and there are just these ones. This time the shadow, there is no any mark on the shadow here, and we're going to delete it. I realize there are a few doors in it, so let's select same and see how many doors there is. There's a lot of doors. So basically, every single door was like over here. It's just like a single piece of texture. Let's delete it. Now let's go ahead and check it out. The plants, all the trees are the same, but with different values, and they are all centered at 0, which is the height. Interesting enough, they are all following the same height. Now there's this little centered fountain. Just the fountain is building one object, and there are these right here, which funny enough they made the shadow like this. And now I'm going to delete actually all of these objects. Alright, you can see the shadow is a bit pixelated. BrowEdit has a function to smooth line maps, and that would smooth the line maps. I cannot undo that, so let's just continue like this. Select the same. There's just one of these objects, and I believe the same for every single 3D in the center. Let's see. There's just one as well. Just one. These are special houses, and this was built in 3 parts. I believe they are the same, just replica. If you notice, I could invert selection here. They are exactly the same. Okay, so let's select the same, and you can see that only this true, but for the houses they are pretty much a bunch of copies all around. So we found 2 types of house. Let's select the same, 3 types of house, And let's select same. 4 types of house. Select same. 5. Select same. 6. There's a big house here. 7. 8. 9. Then these are the same. And there we go, the church. These are all the same as well. Oh, so interesting. This is different than this. Select same. And the walls, I believe they're all the same. What else is here? A few boxes, a few doors. This. Alright, so we realized that there are a bunch of objects, that the houses are pretty much the same. Now I will check it out a bit around the map. I just want to make sure I delete every single 3D, or I can just press M to turn off the 3D here, right? So there is a non-textured piece of the map. Very, very nice to know that. Now I'm going to turn off the shadows for now. Let's turn off the shadows. All right, so color map, no. Shadow map, here we go. So there are shadow maps, and you can see there are a few paintings in here. And that means was painted by the color edit. Color edit, so you can see from the top view the color map here. There's like a painting on the ground. Now let's check. There are a few sound effects, like this one right here. I'll try to play sound. Yeah, so this is the bird sound, and then this is church, and then also birds, and a different bird. Okay, nice. So there are a few types of bird sounds. Right here is the same thing. And then there are a few effects, which is this effect right here, the love effect. And here, let's see, the elevation on the ground. This was not connected properly on this side, so that was something the designer did or he just forgot to close this right here. Something like that. Okay. Anyway, could have closed. And here's how they did the ending of this area, this location. Okay. Here I also have some type of elevation. And there is a random texture here. Could be like this. I think it would look better. Right here as well, have a random textured thing here, badly done, just randomly. Okay. It looks perfect, but behind it has so many interesting factors. Now that's how they did. So if I check here, it's -1, and then this one is 0. So they go down here, and then they use like this to connect it, like that. So the sidewalks is like this, and then this part of the sidewalk is just normal. Also, there is some funny elevations here, and this does not connect so well. So if I turn on the grid under here, you can see it's not connecting properly in here. So let's see the pattern of the textures. They have used this total of textures only to build the entire map, and this is how they place the textures. So like here is just so randomly different. What I can do is to open Prontera once again. So I don't save it. Let's open Prontera and check it out. So I want to turn off color maps, shadow maps, effects. Okay. And I want to go where the weird textures are located. Here have one. Just let's see what was in here. Okay, so there was a house. Here was another house. So there are marks to know where the house should go. I'm gonna try to make this full screen for you guys. Okay, try this. So hopefully you guys can see better. And here there are a few other marks in there. See how the floor was placed in here. So this pointing that way, interesting. So there are marks to show the direction of the houses. Wow, things that you don't see in game, but you can see with this app. It's so cool, like what was in their mind, right, to place things like this. That always fascinated me, and it's so good that we can preview using our Felicia's app, BrowEdit. Here we go. Few more marks on the ground. Let's check on the gets. I like to check on the gets. These are basically where characters can and cannot walk. And here we can have a look. There's a bridge. That's how the get was placed. It was manually made. This is it's nice that it's not so smooth, and BrowEdit now is able to make even smoother than this kind of texture right here. So, this seems like a very sharp corner on the ground. Yes, there is a sharp corner. They connect the textures. It's not always really well connected. Let's find some weird connections here. Like, for example, this rock does not match the rock next. However, it does look seamless when you zoom out. But for example, here, if I turn off the water, I can see that was not connected. And just like myself, I could come here and connect this with one of this. So like something like this. Anyway, let's continue to check. So water, I will not add the water yet. Let me see. Yeah, so it's not showing under the water anyway. Doesn't really matter. It's so nice to see how they connect things. It got turned. I think we covered everything on how Prontera was made. There is nothing weird in this map. This series is gonna be long, and I'm going to cover more maps. We will see by the route how they were done. And so far, this is pretty cool. Let me see, they connected the water like this. And this is nice to know when you're building maps. It's interesting to look to the official maps so you can guess how they actually did the water ending, which is over here. Whenever there's no textures, it's actually not going to render the water. And the water will just be in this level right here. I think that's common sense when you start playing with BrowEdit. And every part of the sidewall will have this sidewalk edge, which is placed on the height. Let me see if I find the height. A second. Now it's snapping on. So the height of this was set to 1. Okay. And that's cool. All right, so I hope you guys enjoyed to see how Prontera was made. We broken down this map, and it's actually pretty simple. Just this has a lot of memory in our hearts. I know everybody who played Ragnarok, Prontera, music, everything was pretty magical. But now it's just a bunch of 3D in the map. See ya!